I'm due here at Around and About, being fitted for some new diabetic footwear and some orthotics. So first step up, here we go, some catalogs to look through and see what I like. Here we are, Around and About, diabetic footwear and orthotics. Just if you can help me understand, because I've been doing this, and all of a sudden the doctor's like, no, you're not doing that, and I don't know what they don't like about.
Okay.
What am I wearing?
Okay, so let's go through it. So
Okay.
a few things. We want a shoe that has a rigid heel counter in the back. Okay. We want a shoe that has a nice easy toe break. We want a shoe that's wide in the forefoot. We want a shoe that has a pretty deep toe box that could accommodate not only your foot, but the diabetic insert in there. So a lot of these shoes are good to fit your foot, but they're not good to fit your foot and the orthotic.
I got you. Because I go up by a size or a size and a half by putting orthotics into those.
Right.
And all I do is buy them, rip the guts out, and put mine in.
Okay, so the problem with going up a size is now your toe break doesn't match. And you have extra room in the toe when you come over, so you're not breaking with that toe. So this joint here with a pes cavus foot, your first metatarsal joint, easily gets irritated when the bend doesn't match up on the shoe. And that usually happens when you have one shoe one size too large. So those are some of the issues you're having.
And I have trouble fitting into shoes anyway. I guess that part of my foot where you just touched is too wide or something, so I end up almost on standard sizes with extra space in the front.
Yeah, so right here you have the width issues.
Right.
Here you have the high instep. So you need to have a custom diabetic insert that accommodates this very high arch. Now, I don't know if your orthotics are actually custom. Let me see that for a second.
Yeah, so they put, you know that stuff that you put flowers in the salt
foam? Okay.
So they took like a shoebox, put my foot in, if that makes sense, sent them out somewhere and came back with those. So I would believe they're custom, but I'll believe whatever you say.
Okay, these look like they can. Do you have the other side?
Sure.
One thing I like to look at is just to see if both are exactly symmetrical, because both feet are always different. So if both orthotics exactly match each other, I have a feeling then they're just kind of matched
Well, they
up.
did one box for each foot when they did it, but I don't know that means they did it.
What I usually recommend is when that's a very acceptable way to make the orthotics. It's just that, are they being used to be made? Are they used just as sometimes places will do the impressions, but then they'll take off-the-shelf orthotics and kind of match it up to the shape of your foot. And it might be pretty close, and then they'll say, oh, they modified it, and that's where we want your foot to be. But both feet, in almost all cases, are very unique. You're like, one foot might be a little larger than the other, the arch length, arch height might be a little bit different. I find that to be more common than not. Very rarely do you see 2 feet identical. Usually there's lots of differences, not necessarily even subtle. So what I like to do is I just take the custom orthotics somebody may have, and I put them together upside down, and if they look exactly like each other, like these are looking to me, that a lot of times I'd say maybe they weren't custom made to you, that they were more sized to something close to your foot type, and they probably work a lot better than having no arch support in your shoe, so they're comfortable. They also put what we call heel stabilizers. There's not really much any posting in here, but they put a heel stabilizer so your foot's not rocking. With a pes cavus foot, which you have a high arch, your foot has more of a tendency of rolling outward, this way, not inward. Somebody who has a flat foot, they usually roll in. So there's no special accommodations for this orthotic for you to roll out. They actually just have it neutrally just stabilized, and that sometimes may work and may be fine. Usually though, we find like just even how you like to hold your foot, you see how you're on the outside of your foot?
Mm-hmm.
So Let's
Well,
just,
because they don't touch the ground on the
let's
inside.
just watch you walk and then just see if you roll out.
I'm being self-conscious.
Okay, so you're not significantly rolling out, but you walk on the outside of your foot more than you do on the inside. You're not coming over your foot down the windlass effect where the toe stiffens and then you come over the big toe. You're not really doing that. You come down on the heel, on the outside of the foot, and you kind of stay on that the whole way over.
I think it's because my foot doesn't touch when. Does that make sense?
A lot of it is your midfoot is very rigid and stiff, so you don't have that rocker, that torsion moment to switch over. So that could be a lot of that.
Okie doke.
So yeah, so I think these.
So just to tell you,
Yeah.
a podiatrist fit me
Okay.
and then sent it out
Yeah.
somewhere, and those were mailed back.
Right, and a lot of the podiatrists, may not be sure that they were actually custom, like we're talking about, made to your foot. But if you look, the fact that I make so many of these and know what to look for, to me these are more mirror images of each other,
Gotcha.
and I think they're more either matched to kind of match your foot and maybe customized, but not custom fabricated and molded to your mold of your foot.
And that's what you're gonna do.
So
You'll make it
okay,
yourself.
Okay, so now what we're going to do differently is different items. These are custom rigid foot orthoses. We're not going to make these. What we're making is what's called diabetic inserts. The whole insert that we're making is made out of foam,
I love it.
and it's a softer material. Now, there's a place for these, but being diabetic, a lot of times this material might be too rigid to be on your foot and you need something soft. You might benefit from adding a top layer to this of like diabetic plastisode or materials that we use to make this softer and then make this a better product for you in the long run. What I'm going to provide you with is 3 diabetic inserts, and because we use a very soft durometer, approximately 35, they're rated like 35, 45, 55. That has to do with the texture, like how hard or soft it is to your foot. 35 is really soft, but the down part of being soft is that they bottom out.
Wow.
After a while. So after 4 months, they start to flatten out, and that's why we like you to switch them out every 4 months. And therefore you
So
get
4
3
months
pairs.
for them. I would say I go for like a year with.
Okay,
What
so
you wear.
these aren't going to bottom out at all.
Oh,
and,
okay.
yeah, these will stay the same because this is a rigid carbon fiber foot plate.
But then you don't get the softness.
But what this is lacking, and I think you would benefit from, is getting a soft layer added to these, and you could probably still use it. I'm just curious to see how they fit on your foot.
Is there anything you can tell by these?
The rear foot does all the control to the midfoot. The midfoot controls the forefoot.
Gotcha.
So that's what's good about these orthotics, is that they help control your foot. Let me just see how they contour your foot. Let me have you stand up on them for me.
And I'm not gonna fall over. All I can tell you is they are so much more comfortable than the way the shoes would come if I bought them.
Okay,
to put 'em on.
okay, so if you look at your feet, you see how this foot's kind of collapsing and dropping in. The left foot's not so bad. The right foot doesn't really match well.
So it's bigger than the orthotic, right? And the toes coming out, everything else. So.
You needed a little more. I mean, it needed to be more posting. The arch length is a little shorter than that foot itself, so there's some things going on with the left that could be better.
Good.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna measure you on a granic device. That's this metal device.
And you
right
want the
here.
white socks on?
Yeah, I want you to leave your socks on because you're gonna have socks on when you wear your shoes
Right,
all the
right.
time. Yeah. So we're gonna kind of measure your foot. Maybe stand up first. I like you to stand up on this because your foot spreads out.
All right.
And right So if you do this in sitting, a lot of times you get a completely different.
Which is the only way I've ever had it done.
Okay. Put the other foot right here so you're evenly distributed. Very good. Alright, so if you look at your foot, you're touching right on the 8.5 mark.
That's what I would say.
So I would go at 9 probably on this one. We look at the blue, the yellow for the female. So you're probably a 9 extra wide on the right.
So the extra wide is one of the problems besides the instep and the arch. Complicated feet.
Heel all the way back. Alright, same thing on this. We're just going past the 8.5 mark, so again a 9 extra wide. Okay.
Well, hello, I'm Duke. We're in the middle of it. Here we are at Around and About.
Hi, my name is Rich Conray. I'm a licensed orthotist, prosthetist, and physical therapist. I've been in this field for approximately 30 years, and I'm still learning every day from my patients and the physicians and the people I work with. It's a very rewarding field, and I hope that I can share the things that I've learned with my new patient, and hopefully maybe you'll pick up a few things watching this process.
The whole staff's been really fantastic. We got a referral from my doctor, called up, made an appointment. They're getting all the information from my endocrinologist as well. So everybody's been helpful, really wonderful experience. We'll put the address in the video. Thanks for coming, guys. I'm Duke and Insulin. All right.